Hello friends, May Flaum here, and I am going to show you how to make this super fun cactus completely within designs that are in the ScanNCut DX as well as my own imagination. This is such a fun project. Let's get started. The first step will be to get a pattern that you like. You can use a built-in pattern, you can create your own pattern. In this instance, I have been sketching first in pencil, and I will remind you, you can sketch in any size that you would like. So I started with the main body, and then I kind of drew what I thought the cactus arms would look like. And then I continued to erase and expand my cactus until I was fairly happy. And when I did that, I took a thick black marker and outlined it. However, I went too far. So what I did was just get a second piece of thin paper, place it over the top, and trace where I liked it. Once you've turned your ScanNCut DX on, go ahead and place your drawing or your file. Remember that this step is optional if you're working with a pre-made file or a file that you've purchased. Push this button here to load the mat. We are going to select scan, and we are going to select scan to cut because we want to create a data file. The area is 12 by 12. The recognition mode is grayscale, which is fine. If you wanted to change that, you would do so here. Once this is scanned, we will tell it what kind of a file we want. We simply want the outline. And we also want to zoom in on our file so that only the area directly around our cut file here is selected. And then this button here, we can smooth this. In other words, the little tiny variations in the line, because it is hand drawn, would be smoothed out more or less. I put it in the middle there. So once we are satisfied, we will say okay, and we will save to our machine. I have a standard mat that I am loading, and it has a piece of chipboard already on the mat. Now what I'm going to do is cut out two. So we're going to go into retrieve data, select that, select our file. Now this is a simple file, as you can see. So what it's going to do, we're going to go here first. Our cut area here, there's two different options. If we are going to do the 24-inch mat, so if we were going to go very, very long, we would select that. I'm working with the 12 by 12 mat, so we're going to select that and say okay. Then we will edit, object edit. It's really handy. We can just size up however large we would like. And I'm going to center it like so. And just click through to say okay. Select cut. And all we will have to do for the second one is cut and start. And the auto blade will detect and take however many passes it needs to get through this chipboard. Next up, we're going to cut our fringe. So we're going to go into pattern and here into the borders. As you can see, there's a lot of different options, a lot of different edges that we can pick from. So you can pick whatever you would like. There's certainly, look at all of these fun options that we've got here. I'm going to go with that grass pattern, I believe, but I'm just going through to make sure that's the one I want. And yes, it is. So going back up to grass. And I am going to select, let's see, we want it all the way wide. So we'll put it 11.5. And let's see if it'll let us cut 8 of those. It should. Yes, that's perfect. So 8 is how many I can cut at the size that I wanted. I have a piece of cardstock on a standard mat. We're just going to press OK and cut. And I'm going to repeat this with any additional paper colors that I would like. At least 3 sheets to make sure that I have enough to cover front and back of our cactus. Once you have an ample amount cut out, now it's time to really have fun and get going with this. So you can start with absolutely any colors that you want, anything that you like. So what you're going to do is for the very bottom, you're going to put one of the strips on like so. And don't worry about the excess. We'll be trimming that off as needed. And then you're going to reverse and place the next strip on the other direction. And you're just going to keep doing this. Now you might notice some of my strips are small. I'll explain that in a moment. You're just going to want to take whatever colors, whatever patterns you like, in whatever order that you like them, and place them on. Now with some scissors, you'll want to, I like to just trim away approximately what I need just as I'm going. Once I'm finished, I will take a detail knife, a craft knife, and cut around perfectly from the back side. You can see there's still a little bit there, but you're just going to continue going all the way up, including all the way across all of this. And again, in any way that you like. Here you can see the other side that I have already finished. You can see how that's looking. Isn't that cool? It's got so much character to it. And we have a few more embellishments, and of course we need to pull this all together now. Next, I am going to take hot glue. You do not have to use hot glue, but I find it very effective for this type of crafting. And not the bottom, but all along the edges. What I am going to do is just slightly inside, I am going to take this 2-inch wide paper, and I am going to stand here and hold it while the hot glue sets, just so that it stays up. Now you could use different props to help you, but what we're going to do is once it's set, then we'll go on to the next side, and it does not need to be perfect. It does not need to be every single inch covered either. You just want it to hold along those lines. So I will bend this paper here. There we go. Essentially what we are doing is we are creating kind of a cover so that between the two pieces there will be something decorative showing. Once it is all the way down, we're going to repeat on the other side. So on the other side, what I'm going to do is just a little more quickly. Now that this is firm and this is holding, all I need to do is outline this with hot glue quickly and then press this into place, pressing any areas that don't seem to want to be where I want them. And then we will get to glittering and accessorizing the edges that aren't as pretty. I have glitter glued all around the outside edges, and it's dry. You can see it is hollow on the bottom, but is all stable and sturdy. The only thing that's not great is these spots where my paper is connected, because it took more than one piece of paper. But don't worry, because I actually have a plan. My plan is to put little flowers on top. So that is our next step for this project, is to make some little flowers to top it off. Then it'll be ready to sit atop our table. So I have several different colors of pink that I'm going to use, and I'm just going to place one at a time on my mat. But first, we get out the ScanNCut. We're going to go into pattern, and I'm going to use an assortment of flowers. So what I am going to do is cut out several different flowers. There's a lot of really fun ones. I think that this one will be really great. And my largest I'm going to do is 5 inches. I'm going to cut a variety of sizes for 2 reasons. Number 1, because I want to layer. And number 2, because I do not mind at all having extras. So once we have our designs, we're going to continue to add, and we can add different elements like so. We can also go in here, and I selected more than one. However, I will go in here and size some of these down so that they are different sizes, because we definitely want a lot of different sizes. Now you can size as big or as small as you would like with these. I'm just going to select just a couple of random sizes. I'm not really worrying about these yet. I'm selecting okay to get back to add, because I want to get back and add even more patterns, even more flowers. There are so many great ones to pick from. And again, I can add as many as I would like. I'm going to make this one a little smaller. I'm going to say 2 of those. And then I'll pick a third flower, going back in pattern. Once you really get the hang of your DX, there's so many wonderful things you can do right here with the patterns that are already in the machine. I just cannot get enough of that. I love that. And then I would also like one of these, nice and small. I like to have different sizes and colors for a couple of reasons. Number one, so I can make my layered flowers, and I will be making 3 layered flowers, so I will need a good number of these. The other thing I will want to do is if I have extras, well, for my scrapbooking, for my card making, for my home decor, I always need extra flowers. So I do not worry at all if I have some extras laying around. That just means I'm going to have a lot of fun. This one I'm making a little bigger than 5 inches. That just means I'm going to have more fun things to play with. So I am a big fan of having different flowers at different sizes so that we can have a lot of really fun options. And as you can see, I'm just kind of sizing them to different sizes. And once I am all ready, and once I am happy with the various sizes that I have, and I'm ready to go, what I will do is say, okay, continue to click, okay, all the way through. We're going to select and cut. Now it is not going to turn green, and the reason is we do not yet have our mat loaded. So I'm going to grab my mat and grab my first color of paper, make sure it is pressed onto my mat nice and firmly here, and then load my mat. And this step we will repeat with every piece of paper or material, any material will work, that we wish to use. All we're going to do, we're not going to change our flowers, we're just going to continue to cut and press start for as many colors and papers as we like. Once all of your pieces are cut out, it's up to you what you want to do. I like to actually take my stylus and I like to roll them in different ways. Sometimes I will just pinch and turn the petals up, or sometimes I will roll them around the stylus. I find it's a good thickness to get a nice little roll, and then you can continue to bend or otherwise add dimension to your flowers. And you can do those all at once. You can do them after you finish. It's up to you. I'm going to do 3 different flowers, and the first thing I will do is determine the largest size that I want, and this is the largest size that I want here in the center. And once I have the largest size, then what I will do is go through the different patterns and colors and decide on what other pieces I would like to see. If I would like to go drastically smaller, if I would like to go only slightly smaller. There's not really a wrong answer here. It's really just about what you would like. So I will go ahead and just show you here how I'm rolling these petals. And you can roll the petals more once everything is assembled and in place. So don't feel like you have to get everything just right to start. I just like to do an initial little roll here before I get out my glue and put a dollop of glue there in the middle and add my next layer, my next flower. And then repeat with a smaller flower until I have enough that I am happy with the look overall. As soon as I am happy with how it looks and that I have enough layers that I like it. Once your flowers are assembled, I've added some buttons in the center here just for another little touch. You can glue them onto your project like so. You can glue as many on as you would like. I'm just kind of considering the sizes and shapes of the flowers that I have and what I would like for my project. You could go very, very large, of course. I'll show you how to glue. You're just going to take a little bit. I'm putting it along the seam because I want to make sure that my flower is centered along that seam to help cover it up. You see how well that works. And I'll tilt it outward just a little bit. And remember, we can add more dimension there if desired. And then I've got the big one here on top. So I'm just going to put a little glue underneath and a little glue above here. and then glue my final one here. I love how this project turned out. This is perfect table decor for my party. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Be sure to tune into the Brother YouTube channel for more ideas, and of course, check out the ScanNCut blog for new projects all the time. I wish you very happy crafting.